Ego or eco. You can see the difference. Ego, man thinks he's the top of the chain. Eco, we're all in it together. Downing Street hints that Boris Johnson won't honour his promise to protect our workers' rights and the environment. This was just so predictable. People who voted for the Tories are going to be very sick of hearing "told you so" over the next few years, we predict. Nottingham City and County Council Social Services. We have a simple message for the pedo protectors. The ICCSA inquiries is coming for closure and justice for the Nottingham CSA survivors. It was no good saying I was only following orders from the Nazis at the Nuremberg trials. Same rules shall apply at the Nottingham inquiry. Poland could exit EU over judicial reform clash. Top Polish court. Poland could end up leaving European Union because of plans by the ruling nationalists that would allow judges to be fired if they question the legitimacy of the government's judicial reforms, the Supreme Court said on Tuesday. The court said the plans could contravene European law and exacerbate existing tension between Brussels and Poland ruling Law and Justice Party, PIS. 16 men, including police officers, charged over historic child sexual exploitation in Halifax. One of the accused is a suspended West Yorkshire police officer. 16 men. The allegations against the 16 defendants involve 3 female victims for a variety of offences, including rape, trafficking, sexual activity with a child, threats to kill, and supplying drugs. They are alleged to have taken place between 2006 and 2009, when the victims were aged between 13 and 16 years old. Suspended officer Amjad Ditta, aka Amjad Hussain, was based in the Forces Protective Service operations. He was a serving officer at the time of an alleged offence of sexual touching in 2009. The men will appear at Bradford Magistrates Court on January 6, 2020. The men charged are Vakas Abbas, 30, of Halifax, charged with rape ×3 and supply of a Class C drug ×3. Nadim Adalat, 34, of Halifax, charged with rape ×4 and supply of Class C drug ×4. Sajid Adalat, 43, of Halifax, charged with rape. Vasim Adalat, 33, of Halifax, charged with rape ×2, trafficking and supply of Class C drug. Amjad Ditta, aka Amjad Hussain, 35, a police constable based with West Yorkshire Police Protective Services operations, charged with sexual touching. Christopher Eastwood, 45, of Halifax, charged with rape ×2 and supply of Class C drug ×2. Mehtab Islam, 46, of Halifax, charged with rape ×6, supply of Class C drug ×6, sexual assault ×2 and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. Mohammed Rizwan Iqbal, 34, of Halifax, charged with rape. If you want to read the rest, the links, as usual, are in the description. Blow to Tory government as firefighters win back their pension in court victory. December 18th, 2019. In a landmark court victory that could have implications for public sector workers across the UK, the Fire Brigade Union beat the Tory government in a decision that entitles over 6,000 firefighters to return to their 2015 pension schemes. The Employment Tribunal embarrassment for the government comes after a Court of Appeal ruling last December that its attacks on firefighter pensions constituted unlawful age discrimination. In a shocking admission in July, the government disclosed that it had wasted £495,000 in legal costs fighting to maintain its disciplinary pension policy. The total annual cost of applying the ruling across the public sector should be up to $4 billion. The 6,000 firefighters who won today are members of the 1992 and 2006 Firefighters Pension Scheme and now entitled to be treated as if they have remained members of the original pension scheme, with benefits including a retirement age of between 50 to 55. Best-selling novelist who wrote about vaccine industry deception found dead. The facts. Author Jennifer Janes, who recently wrote a novel that reveals corruption and malevolent intent on the part of vaccine industry, died suddenly on Monday, November 2015. No cause of death has been issued by either her parents or the authorities. Does it feel like the lines between fact and fiction are continuing to blur? I wish I had discovered this Facebook post from November 30th earlier. My apologies. It is from respected activist Erin Elizabeth and is essentially explains all we need to know while we await word from Brian Jane's Jennifer husband and the father of the two young children. Again, our prayers and condolences go out to the Jennifer's family. If you want to read the rest. Knife arch outside Nottingham station to stop people bringing weapons into the city. No, it's not. It's Big Brother in your face. Police want to dismantle alleged county lines drug supply between Nottingham and Lincoln. Lying bastard. It's just more Big Brother in your face. A knife arch was placed at Nottingham railway station to stop young people bringing bladed weapons into the city. Officers stopped and searched 20 people during a major operation on Wednesday, December 18th to dismantle alleged county lines drug supply chains. Bullshit, it's about eroding our rights, because now they're just searching because, well, this went off, even though he's got a button there that he just pushes and that makes it go off. Class A and B drugs were seized from 8 people who were reported for summons to court. 4 people were also issued with dispersal orders banning them from the city centre for up to 48 hours for causing antisocial behaviour. This is the third operation run at the station over the last month. Police said there is intelligence that young kids from 11 to 16 are being recruited in Nottingham and then turned into drug runners carrying heroin and cocaine to rural areas in Lincolnshire. Gangs are recruiting Nottingham kids outside the school gates with WhatsApp and Snapchat messages, they said. Bullshit. MI6 officer found with child abuse images had charges dropped. Inquiry hears sexual material was discovered in 2006 but case never came to trial because they're protected paedophiles. An MI6 officer was discovered to have child sexual abuse images on his work computer, but the charges against him were eventually dropped, the intelligence service has told an inquiry. The illegal material was found in 2006 and the official was dismissed. The independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, ICSA, heard of on Tuesday. The case was referred to the police who investigated. The Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, brought charges, but it never came to trial. Evidence about the Secret Intelligence Service, SIS, or MI6 as it is more commonly known, was given by an anonymous officer who testified at the inquiry via video link. Before 2015, he confirmed the service had no specific policies relating to preventing or reporting suspected child abuse. Paris protest. People are in the red. They can't afford to eat. People from across France came to the capital to let the president know they feel about their new tariffs. You see, what the French are doing, the French government that is, they're trying to starve the French men, women and children out. That's what they're doing. That's what the game is. That's why this shit's going on. We are here to protest against the government because of the rising taxes in general, not just petrol taxes, which is the straw that broke the camel's back. We've had enough. We have low salaries and pay too much tax, and the combination is creating more and more poverty by design. On the other side, there are government ministers and the president with their fabulous salaries. I'm not against the rich, I just want a fairer distribution of wealth in France. This is the first time I've been on a protest. I'm unemployed. It's harder and harder to find a job, and even when you find this famous job and you think your life will improve, the salaries are so low you find you're in the same situation as before, if not worse. At the last election, I left the ballot paper blank. I don't have confidence in any of the political parties, and I don't see the changing until a party emerges that is more interested in the people than in those with the huge fortunes. It's unacceptable that people do not have decent salaries. The top 10 most evil, demonic but true events of 2019 that indicate the rise of Satanism. Natural news. Many Americans are still in perpetual denial about it, but there's no doubt that Satanism is rapidly infecting every cervic of the land. Here are 10 of the most disturbing examples of what happens when a nation partly rejects God and embraces the God of this world instead. Satan, of course, I mean. There's a whole lot of cash to be made from harvesting people's healthy organs and selling them to wealthy transplant patients. And this is exactly what's happening at hospitals and coast to coast. Even while the donor patients are still alive and conscious. It's happening. Colorado public schools have requiring students to role-play child sacrifice poems as part of rape training indoctrination. Some American public schools are now instructing children to recite satanic poems like Allen Ginsberg Howl, which contains language so vulgar that he won't repeat it here, along with reading filthy language. These same children are also being told to pretend as though they are being raped or sodomized as part of their sexual education. Whole Foods... The year 2019 was a big year for the spread of Drag Queen Story Hour, an LGBT perversion event that being held not only at public libraries but also at Whole Foods market stores. Drag Queen Story Hour is, in case you're unfamiliar, typically involves a biological man dressed as a very slutty woman, reading books to children and possibly even dancing or prowling around the floor while growling like a demon. The Annihilation Agenda. Why globalists are actively working to exterminate 90% of the human race. Again, if you want to read the rest, links in description. Daily Fail. Parasite Alert. Louis the Boy Racer. More adorable pictures of the satanic family. Boris's High Street Boost. PM to slash rates for 500,000 small businesses. One male reader donates another 1,000 school orchards. Telegraph. Johnson to enshrine in law 34 billion NHS boost. He's lying. But anyway, it'll just mean those at the top just take a bigger slice of the pie and then continue to pay over the odds for medications because they get a kickback for it. Veganery could damage your health, say scientists. Veganery, I guess that is. Like something the cat brought in. Trump, a threat to US security, Democrats claim. Test case rules against tax experts sacked over transgender tweet. Humanitarian crisis alert over Alzheimer's. Can you be a millionaire and Labour ready leader? Well, you can be anything, can't you? Because you'll be one of them anyhow. Take Sussex's title away, council urged. Google faces break up over ads dominance. Why cats in the film of the world needs meow? Bully for her. Sharrock is new superstar of darts. First aid for NHS in Johnson's Queen's speech. I'll come back to that. Midlife obesity linked to dementia in women. Tribute to entertainer and pioneer Kenny Loach. Child dancers were urged to smoke to lose weight. The most complained about TV moments of the decade. Hammond hits 50. I had a good go at not making it. Back to the Johnson thing. PM puts health service at heart of new government legislative programme. Believe that, you'll believe anything. Hospitals given power to develop drugs along with 33.9 billion funding pledge. Well, just take 3.9 billion of that 33 or 34, shall we, and end the homelessness and the food banks. Oh, no, that's not part, yeah. New immigration laws will fast-track down doctors and nurses with job offers. And if you remember yesterday, I was saying how they're going to give a 10,000 bursary, and I was saying it was for foreign nurses, not indigenous. That's what this is all about. Crackdown on violent crime will also be included in Pod Pack address. New Labour would not have agreed to this election. Thornbury praises Blair as she became first MP to enter leadership race. If she's praising Blair, she's a Satanist. Lib Dem's Brexit policy not realistic. Acting leader Davey criticises Swinson. Yeah, the knives come out as soon as you lose your job. You see, how funny was that? Express. Parasites again. A great talent. Kenny Lynch dies at 81. Boris, I'll wrap up Brexit in a week. Don't believe it. Why I've got the best present ever. Metro. Storming it. Daisy Skywalk's red carpet. Blair, Labour a comedy cult. Ex-PM warns his party faces oblivion if it fails to change direction. He blames Corbyn's terminal ineptitude after cruising election loss. And Blair, the satanic cross-dressing paedophile. Mirror. Liz Nandy, my vision to save Labour. Doesn't need saving, it needs destroying, along with all political parties that are having a party at our expense. A huge talent and true pioneer. Forgotten families. Flood victims facing Christmas in the car. Abandoned and homeless 6 weeks after village swamped by biblical deluge. They don't give a shit. The Times. Hedge fund eavesdrop on vital bank briefings. Market sensitive news sent to traders early. Secret feed gave clients chance to make millions. Just by accident, of course, yeah. Pray for me, says Trump, before vote of it to impeachment. Web giants warned. Fraud police shortfall. Judges face reform. Macron wavering. Fears for car workers. Liverpool reach final. Yeah. Utter waste of paper. Fallon makes darts history. Whirlwind's horror. Jimmy White's girl glassed in face. Kenny Lynch, R.I.P. FT. EU doubts on deadline to get Brexit done. Because it's not, there's no intention of us ever leaving. Armed Forces funding crisis set to put Operation Readiness in peril. 1 billion gap feared next year. Military chief summoned. Post-Brexit global stance at risk. Digital watchdog to rein in big tech and bolster protection for customers. Yeah, right. Banks and insurers face BOE climate stress test. And finally, meat eaters and the light bulb. How many meat eaters does it take to change a light bulb? None. They would rather stay in the dark about things. Why did the tofu cross the road? To prove that he wasn't chicken. You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You need a parachute to go skydiving twice. Why did the tomato blush? Because he saw the salad dressing.